What's up, guys? You've probably seen in the back of some of my videos recently, I've got a Ditch Witch mini skid steer in here. It's kind of a project. I bought it for pretty cheap and needs a little bit of TLC. So I thought maybe I'd bring you guys along for some of it. So I don't know how much like little stuff I'm gonna video, but there's a couple things I've been trying to figure out that I cannot find on Google or YouTube or anything. Again, it's one of those things, probably kind of basic stuff, but I couldn't figure it out until recently. So I'm gonna video a little bit of that and maybe help somebody else later down the road. So, all right, as you can see, it is a little bit tore apart already. I got ahead of you guys. So main things need to be fixed. As you can see, that cylinder on both sides, there's that one, are leaking pretty good. So need to reseal those. I got some reseal kits from Ditch Witch themselves. I just recently noticed that the pins and bushings in the whole front, the pivot pins and that center pin are like shot. I don't know if I can show the bottom ones. Anyway, they're not good. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'm not sure if I can get new pins and bushings for that or bushings for that. I don't know. I'm going to work on it. This is a pretty old machine. Runs decent. You probably saw over there, some new tracks for it. They're not completely shot, but they're pretty used. So I got some new tracks for it. I'm going to work on doing these cylinders. It needs a new throttle cable. It was broke. So that's why that's tore apart. I really don't have that much in this without you guys here. I got the back cover off because it was all bent up. You can probably see that bar down there. It's not exactly straight. So I'll show you guys bending that back up. Needs a new air filter, some maintenance. It has a leak under here, which I'm sure you guys can't see very well. It definitely has a leak. I think all it is that hydraulic filter. For one, it's not mounted like it should be, so I need to do something with that. And two, it's got, I don't think you can see it, but it's got a drip on the bottom of it. That's the only thing I can find that's dripping. So we're going to tackle that and see if we get a new filter in it and see if we can get it mounted back up. And other than that, everything looks pretty good. All right, first order of business is getting these pins out so I can take them cylinders out. And I can't find anything on YouTube. I'm sure, again, it's one of those things where you guys that do this every day, you're probably like, well, hey, dummy, do it this way. I'm not that much of a mechanic. I mean, I am, but not like, I don't work on big equipment or any equipment really that much. So I don't have any idea. So I put on the other side, I pulled this nut out and it has this collar here. So there's the nut. You can unscrew the nut and it's like a collar and there's a pin in there. And I was back here on this back side, I wasn't wailing on it, I didn't hurt anything, but I was beating on it and could not figure out how it comes out. I could not figure out any sort of tool to pull that collar out. So I started, breaking out the old common sense, and I'm like, well, collar on the front with a bolt, I bet you that means it's a one-way pin going in from the back side. So I was trying to get in through that hole with something. That didn't really work very well. I didn't have anything. So I put the bolt back in and got it like mostly threaded in so I didn't hurt the threads. And just gave it one little whack. And as you can probably see here, that pin has started out. So that, I think, is the ticket. So for anybody needing to get a cylinder off on a Ditch Witch, there you go. This back here is just a snap ring and a washer. And that should, yep, it's just going to slide off of there. And we'll take those lines loose and we'll start rebuilding it. I got this pin loose and this is already out, this snap ring here. So I just need to take these two lines loose and let them drain. And then we should be able to pull this sucker out of here. Should probably wear some rubber gloves for this, but that's okay. Oh yeah, we're probably gonna drain the whole damn tank, what do you bet? Do we want to make some bets? Oh yeah. Yummy. It is not continuing to drain, so I'm gonna go grab some rubber gloves. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's take this line and let's wedge it up here somewheres, like that. And then let's do this. See if we can at least attempt to catch some of that. Oh, man. Okay. Now, ideally, you would probably want to cap the... Oh, look, nothing. Sweet. Just say, ideally, you would probably want to cap these lines, but I don't have any caps. I don't know if you guys can quite see back here, but I am going to grab... I'm probably just going to use a screwdriver. Not ideal. Definitely do not stick it in where the threads are, but I'm hoping... Yeah, that'll be enough to push that pin out. And there we go. Oh, yeah. So, see, there's a... I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Kind of a wedge to that. It's like almost like a bullet shape. So, good thing I didn't smack on it too hard. So, let's see if... There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's some oil. Oh, boy. There we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and push this down and get all that oil out of there. Whew! Man, that seal is bad. Whoo-wee! All right, I'm gonna take this over the bench and I'll bring you guys over there to see what happens. So we got this in the bench. I'm not sure, let me look here if you can quite see. We've got, I used a rag, didn't really need to, but I got that end of the cylinder pinned in the vise so it can't rotate. And now, I did a little bit of investigative work. This I did know from some previous, work I've done. There is a snap ring inside of this little groove. And some go different directions, I think, than others. But in this case, I needed to turn it counterclockwise until you heard a little pop. And I don't know from there if you can quite see it, but this snap ring popped up in this hole right here. Okay, and there's a gap there. So now we need to go back the other direction and it will just work itself out, which you should see from over there. I did get on Amazon and bought these. Great investment. I wish there was an in-between size because I got this little guy and then I got this giant one. And this one's too small. It just falls out of the hole. This one's a little bit big, but I'm making it work by kind of manipulating a little bit. So... I think I want to go on around. There's only 2 slots. There it is, clear over there. So see, it kind of pins in there, and then here we go. Okay, so see, we just turn, and out that comes. And then right there, you just kind of, I gotta figure out how to get it out of there. There we go. And there we go. So it's got that little hook on the end of it. And that's what hooks down in the slot in that cylinder. So there we go. Got that out. Now we are ready to pull this out. This gland will come out, or head, whatever it's called. And I'm gonna get my bucket over here to catch all this oil. See if we can pop this little bugger out of here. All right, we'll get a hammer and do a little bit of persuading. No? Okay. Oh, like that. There you go. Make a bit of a mess, but oh, there it is. So, all right, now let's switch places here, get it in the vise, and I'm probably not going to go through this whole process because I'm sure there's 100 million videos on YouTube about how to repack a cylinder. You got to take that nut off and do all the O-rings, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that part. I'll just bring you back when we're putting it back together, I guess. All right, guys, there you go. As you can see, I've made quite a mess. This one is back together, ready to go on. I just need to go get some hydraulic fluid to put a little bit on all these just so they slide in nice. This kit, I mean, if anybody's trying to find this, Ditch Witch did have to order this because the SK500 is pretty old now. There's the kit, and it's pretty good. I mean, honestly, it comes with a new one of these, so you don't have to reuse this. New one of these guys, all the seals. It even comes with a new big bolt. So, yeah, and that, at least on this machine, that came off real easy with the high torque impact, like super easy. I bet my mid torque would have taken it off. So there was definitely red Loctite in there, so everything was good there. So yeah, I made quite a mess. Honestly, my biggest pain was this yellow backup ring right here. I don't really know the material, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be super stretchy, but it's not. And trying to get it over either one of these edges and get it down on here, because there is an O-ring under this. So trying to get it down over that was quite a task. That's why the heat gun is out. I just lightly warmed it up, and then I was able to roll it down on there. And it's you can kind of see it's kind of deformed it a little bit. Hopefully it's not a huge issue. I'm gonna let it sit for a few hours and let it kind of form back. It's already gotten, it was like so loose that it wasn't probably good, but it's already gotten tightened way back up. So I'm just gonna leave it for a little bit and hopefully it survives. So yeah, next step will be to shove this back in that cylinder right there and put it back on the machine. All right, that piston's back on. As you can see, nice pretty new wiper seal. Bolts tightened up, lines are on, snap ring is in. She's ready to rock and roll. All right, guys, my apologies. Next day, I forgot to bring you along for the first little bit of this. So I showed you earlier in the video how this is just flopped down. This pin was just wobbling around and just not good. Here's the pin. As you can see, it's pretty wore, so I'm gonna try and get one of those. Called Ditch Witch, and they have these bushings, which are just a weird, I'll show you here in a second, and this bushing, and yeah, I got them, and I'm like, oh, I bet that hole, it looked like it was so wallered out that bushing ain't gonna work. Here's those bushings. So this is that one for the cylinder. You can see I've already tried to stick it in there, and there's the pivot pin one. And come to find out, I stuck it right here, and it won't quite go in. So it's still got good clearances there. I can still see some bearing or some composite bushing in there. So I'm assuming that one will go in there just fine. I'm sorry I didn't have you guys set up for me getting that pin out. That one was not nearly as easy as the one over there you watched me take out. This one was a little stuck. I started hitting the bolt head, and it was starting to round the bolt head a little bit. As you can see, just a touch. It didn't bend anything, but started to round it a little bit. So I just broke out the little propane torch and just heated this hole because it slides out that direction. Just heated that up just a little bit. I mean, it's hot, but not like, red hot. And gave it a good tap, and it started moving out. Let's see if we can get that other pin out. So far they're all breaking loose. No problemo. Okay, so I'm going to run this back in a little ways. Okie dokie. Well. Yeah, it's coming. It's a-coming. There it comes. I'm sure this is the very unorthodox way to do this. I'm 100% sure of that. But I'm making sure the bolt stays. I'm not pounding on it once it gets to where it has very few threads. So, it's like that. It's down to just a few threads. I'm not going to pound on it anymore. Doesn't appear to be hurting the threads at all. I know I've dropped a few things here, but that's okay. And then I just stick a screwdriver in. There we go. Yeah, she's a little rusty, but nothing too bad. This pin is not, well, it's wore a little bit right there, but it's not wore too bad. Oh, that one's in there. Yeah, I guess I should get my gun for that one. The big dog. Well, that doesn't leave me a lot of hope for getting the pin out. Look at the rust in that. Eesh. Oh. There it goes. Yeah. This could be exciting. This little bugger is heavy. There we go. Whew. That's hefty. For being such a little part anyway. So that bearing's got, or that pin's got a little bit of damage right there. But other than that, don't look that bad. I think it'll be all right, honestly. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but that pin that goes right there in the bucket, quick attach. And it is in bad shape. Can you see the amount of wear that thing has? I don't think it looks like very much on the camera, but it's quite a bit. So I called Ditch Witch, and good old Ditch Witch, $115. I'm gonna go get one because, as you can probably see here, that is not a good fit. Not like up there. Up there is nice and tight, and down there it is not good. So yeah, so I'll go get a new pin, and then this thing is gonna be set up. So what we've got left, I got to do that cylinder over there. I'll set you guys up while I'm taking that one off. I need to do those two pin bushings. That pin bushing, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild that cylinder because it is leaking a little bit. It's not bad like those other two were. I mean, those other two were, you can see the puddle. They were making a bad puddle, so, but it is leaking a little. So I'm going to reseal that, and probably we'll get a new bushing for up there. It's a little bit loose. And then we'll start working on some other stuff. All right, there is the bucket lift cylinder. Got it pried out of there. This one has been rebuilt a few times. It is chewed all to hell on that little ring that sticks out here that you use that tool on. That wasn't very fun, but got it out. This one's set up a little bit different than the other one. It's got this big wide wear band on it. But other than that, I think it should be pretty straightforward. And we'll get everything cleaned up. This thing has been leaking a while. It's worse than I thought it was, so I'm glad I got a rebuild kit for it. And yeah, we'll again, I'm probably not going to really show you this. I mean, if you need to know how to rebuild a general cylinder, there's lots of videos on YouTube. I was just trying to do a little bit of the Ditch Witch specific looking stuff, so we'll kind of stick to that, I think. All right, there we go. That cylinder is repacked and in there. But now we are going to start rebuilding this head plate. All right, so we've got to drive these bushings out, put these new ones in, which have exponentially more meat on them than what's in there. And I was hoping I could just put it, because it's inset a little bit right here. I was hoping I could just set this bushing right here and just drive it in, but this bottom plate, there's a little lip that sticks up right here on both sides. So that ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna have to get in there and see if I can drive that sucker out. Probably not without me holding this thing down, which let's just clamp her down. And that might have moved it. They're pretty good fit. Whatever you want to call it, but I'm hoping maybe it'll get underneath of it or something. That's exactly what it's doing, which I guess is fine. I mean, I don't need to save it, so. Well, there it goes. Yeah, I guess that's one way to get it out. All right, we're gonna go about this a little bit different way. We're gonna just see if we can slice. I don't know what kind of material it is. Maybe I don't want to know, but we're just gonna see if we can slice it. Appears sliceable. It's fiberglass. I can smell it. One of those things brings back weird memories of my dad was a plumber his whole life, and growing up, him cutting, tub drains and stuff out. Oh, it worked. Oh. Okay, now, can we push it out now? Let's see. Yep. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh yeah. Layered fiberglass. You can see that. So it's definitely worn how much thicker it is on the bottom than the top versus that. That's a pretty big thickness difference. It wants to start, so I'm gonna don't worry, I'm not gonna like put it all the way in. Just gonna get it started like that, and then I could use the vise, or I do have the press over there, but this thing is heavy. I mean, for what it is heavy. So I think we're gonna go C-clamp route. Do that. Definitely probably should just put it in the press. How would I get it in the press, though? That is the ultimate. I don't think I can get it in the press. So I think this is about the extent of my options. That sort of works. I need piston power. Well, there's a combo that works decent. Funny thing is, you only have to be as smart as the other person in your shop. I'm a one-man show, so I think I get a pass. As you can see, I used a couple of brain cells and realized that I could lower that shelf low enough. I didn't video it, thank the Lord. I was clear up at like that pin, or it was even the first pin, and I was trying to bring that bracket up through the middle of that and like hook it on those plates. And then I was like, oh, hey, you ding-a-ling. Just lower that way down. There was plenty of height there. I still got one more hole, as you can see. And look at that. So let's see how that wants to work. Slide in here. I've got this air jack on here that I, retrofitted or whatever to fit on this. I'm not gonna use that, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I need to square it up a little bit. There's a little bit of a height difference there from the rest of this, so I think I should probably do something like that, and maybe that would help. Yeah. There it goes. It's a going. There we go, that looks a little better. It's going, man. It ain't happy about it, but it's going. Oh, there it bottomed out right there. Holy mackerel. So that little spacer I got's a piece of 1/4 inch, and it's tacoing it. Wow. Crazy. Okay. But there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Definitely shaved right at the end there. Shaved a little bit of the fiberglass, but not too bad. But it's in there. So let's go back to the bench and we'll cut this one on this side, and we'll get that out of there, and then we'll set this back up and we'll actually press the other one the right way from the beginning. All right, for any of you guys looking to do this, so if you didn't see me earlier, all I did was I took my Sawzall and I got it in there just very carefully, because this at least on these ditch witches, this is just fiberglass. So I just cut on that guy until it basically caught my Sawzall. And then on this one, I actually kind of went sideways like this and made my cut just a little bit wider. And then it popped again. It literally pops and I can see a gap. And then, as you can see, whoop, just slides right out. Look at how wore that thing is on the one side. Wowzers. All right, let's get the other one slid in there. All right, so as you guys can probably see, I just, again, lightly started that with the hammer. Got it pretty, square every which direction. This thing is not light. Oh, man. For being just a little mini skid steer, I guess at least I can actually maneuver it. For a full-size skid steer, I wouldn't even be able to screw with it, I guess, but just trying to get her all lined up nice and pretty here. All right. Woo! Woo! That's scary. It's going in much different than the last one. Oh, that's kind of terrifying, to be honest with you. Yeah, because it definitely feels like something's breaking. Interesting. Oh, man, I don't like that. That is terrifying. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That is terrifying. Oh. Holy mackerel. I don't like that at all. Not my idea of a good time. I'm going to try just tapping that a little, because the popping is just not. Nope. So it's going to go kablamo for that last little 1/8 of an inch it's got to go. I am pulling pretty hard on this thing. Oh, I think something else is going to snap if I go too much harder. Oh yeah, it's like racking the whole. Granted, it's just Harbor Freight lift, but it's racking the whole lift. Oh, Jesus, I don't like that at all. But it made it. It's all the way in now. Holy crap. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. That was terrifying. Call me a weenie, but that was no fun. But it's in there. Want to see it? All the way in there. All right, there we go. So you guys can see that pin. So this pin is not fantastic. There is that little spot, but it is not very deep. It is literally just a little bit of wear. There's a tiny little edge on there. I'm gonna take some sandpaper and clean it just a little bit. I probably should replace it, but for $150 or whatever it is for this pin, that's not enough wear to concern me. Because this is a dry bushing, I mean, it's pretty for sure that those bushings are gonna wear out here not very long. As you can see, it's a nice tight fit in there. You know, they're not gonna be there forever. It's not, I don't know, just I don't see the point in that little bit of wear to replace the pin at the price they are. I'm not gonna put that front piece on just yet because I still need to go get that pin for that center cylinder and fix that bolt up there that I was telling you about. So I'm not gonna do that yet. So we're gonna go ahead and take this cylinder off. This is the last cylinder that we've got to replace, or to reseal. Back hold on these guys. Oh wait, this is gonna leak pretty bad. So yeah, I would definitely, I don't know if you have to, but I would back hold because I would really hate, oh that could be part of the issue over here. That is not even tight in that, good Lord. Tight in that boss there. But anyway, I would sure hate to snap this off in that cylinder or whatever, so. Yeah, no leakage. I like it. I like it a lot. I appreciate zero leakage. Gonna do that. And now we're gonna do this. As you guys may or may not know by now, I do not really consider myself a mechanic, but I do have a pretty good mechanic background. But man, I'm not a clean freak or anything, but I cannot stand just oil and grease and crap everywhere. I know it's inevitable a lot of the time, but the way I look at it, if it's avoidable, avoid it. Okay, now we just have this little snap ring pop out. I guess it'd be smart if I just spun it up here. There we go. Then there's a little washer. So get that. And that one is free. That bushing's a little bit wore out. That one might, well, I hate to replace one side, not the other. Okay, now we gotta finish. This screwdriver might be enough. It was enough on the other side. And you don't want to get into them threads like I did on that other one. Oh, there it went. Oops, hopefully I didn't break nothing. Now this is where it's gonna make a mess. Oh, there we go. Now just slide it off that end. There we are. What I'm doing behind you guys is sitting here just pushing the oil out. Here we go. All right, let's get this one rebuilt. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and do a part 2 on this because I want to show some of the other stuff I'm going to do. And I've just run into a snafu. I kind of fought getting this. I don't know how well you would have seen it in the time lapse, but I kind of fought getting this backup ring on here. And now it will not go in the hole. So now it's a little bit boogered up. So I'm going to have to go see if I can buy just that backup O-ring, which I think I can. I've got a bag here somewhere. I'll have to find it with the part number. Yeah, and I'm not going to go for a couple days to get parts because it's an hour away and I got some other stuff going. So I'm going to cut it off here, and I'll do a part 2 basically of the rest of what's going on there, and then I'll show you guys what I got left in store for it. I'm not going to do a ton more. I got to do the throttle cable. I got to change filters in it, and some other little stuff. So this one might be a little bit longer than the next one, but I think it'll be a good couple of videos. So I'll film when I fix that for you guys to see. And I got a couple more bushings to put in too. So anyway, if you guys like this, I know it's a little different than my normal welding stuff. So if you guys like this, be sure and please hit the like button, comment if you would, or even a subscribe would be awesome. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the next one.